Yeah, it's me back again, a couple days post election. And if I'm doing the math right, it is 1 day post birthday. That's right, your girl made it 43 years. So, with any luck, here's a 44. um, God, yeah. So, yeah, my last update, that was kind of spur of the moment thing, just had to, air my grievances briefly. I had a little bit of time in the morning after work. So stopped in my car before I got out, came back inside. I decided to just go ahead and do that. My sentiments are unchanged since then. So I see America fucked up big time with that election result. And as I have been saying for a while now, for the last few days, I hope that you get the America you deserve. As for whether or not I'm still here in a year or 4 years, that's up in the air. Sorry, I don't usually drink on camera, but I just got back from shopping. Yeah, that was a day. That was a day right there. But yeah, I went out shopping today. Has certain errands to run, so I'll touch on that in a few minutes. But yeah, as far as my plans go, I do intend to stick around and fight and fight. And if it comes down to it, where things get bloody, you know what? I would rather die as myself than live as the shell of a person that I used to be. So that is how it's going to be for me, whether people like it or not. I got a message from my neighbor, actually, who is encouraging me to join up with the local local Democratic chapter, and apparently she's in contact with the person that organized everything in our city, and she's going to see if we can formulate some kind of strategies and plans moving forward for whatever we can do here. And I'm hoping, that this is a movement that is, has similar similar ideals are shaping up across the country. Hopefully that we got enough people that are not just talk and actually are going to do stuff um, over the next few years to at least mitigate the damage that Mango Magoo is about to unleash on us. But I don't know. I don't know what all I can really do as just one person. I mean, I'm not a good speaker. I'm not very articulate. I can't persuade people to my way of thinking to save my life, which may actually be the case in a few months from now. But I'm getting ahead of myself there. But I don't know. There might be something that I'm actually good at that I can actually use to further the cause, to dampen the efforts and interfere with their hostile takeover of our country. Thing is, I just don't know what it is yet. Now, I have actually found some good songs over the last couple of days that have really helped me. And I know it's kind of it's like a bandage on over a gaping wound, but music is a balm of sorts. It helps to soothe the soul. And one was suggested to me by a friend, my bestie. She suggested Frank Turner's song "Sand in the Gears," which, as she understands it, he actually wrote the song um, as a response to the first Trump presidency. So it's kind of it was all ready to go. So we'll just take it out of the archives and crank it up. And the other one was the one that I just kind of happen to remember was one from Icon for Hire called Seeds. And when I was listening to it earlier, prior to the election, I didn't really give the rebellious undertones, the rebellious nature, tone of the song, a lot of thought. But as I listened to it yesterday and today, I'm just like, holy shit, this is an absolute. We are going to rise up and we are going to show you how fucking wrong you were to underestimate us kind of song. So I'm gonna be playing those a lot in the coming months and years. But yeah, it's not to say that I have a lot of optimism right now. I just don't feel as fatalistic today as I did back then, back 2 days ago. But until I see what actually happens, there's not really much I can do as far as protecting myself. I know the ACLU is sending me a lot of emails the last few days talking about uh, what their plans are, how they're trying to get out in front of everything. Apparently, they got a lot of lawsuits that they're ready to file. So hopefully, hopefully they'll get that, they'll get around to that and be sand in the gears of the Republican machine. But yeah, with all that out of the way, I just got back from errands, and yeah, part of that is shopping. I stopped at Walmart on the way back because I needed mouthwash and some milk and a couple other essentials. So stopped by, spent $82 on food and candy and candles and chapstick and God, what else was there? I think that was it. I mean, food is a pretty wide open category. I had a couple flavors of Mountain Dew that I had never seen before. So a couple 20-ounce bottles of those, and it's like, there was like a lemonade flavor. I was like, okay, I'll grab that and see how it tastes. It's not cold yet, but that's why I'm going with this. But anyway, so what was that? Yesterday, I got a package from Amazon. Actually, I got two packages from Amazon, but the one in question here had 8 items in it. Okay, so it was a small lamp, like a reading lamp, which I picked up for like $15, and stuck on the wall behind me here. Gonna use that for for reading manga on my at night, and the rest were all volumes of manga. Now, of the 7 volumes, 6 were in pristine condition. I mean, they were brand new. They were not beat up or anything. But the 7th one, that actually came in its own bag, and I opened the bag up, and Like, holy shit, there is absolutely no way that anybody should have ever considered this acceptable. The front cover was bent, crumpled. Um, it had like little indents in it, and the backside had some markings on it. I was just like, you know what? No, fuck this. I am not accepting this. So I initiated the return through the app yesterday. Part of that is you have to return it, return the original, and they'll send you a replacement right away, but you have to agree to send back the original before, in my case, it's before February 1st. But you have to go to the UPS store. And shit, hold on a second. Okay, yeah, either I am totally losing my mind or somebody was at the door. I swear I heard the doorbell ring, but nobody there. So I don't know what that was all about. So yeah, I thought I heard the doorbell just now. That's why I had to do a little pause on the video. Yeah, so doing the return of the book, and I had to go to the UPS store, and I search, and there's one UPS store in my city, in the region. It's about 12 miles away, so I gotta drive out there. And I had to go out for for other things too. But I started off, it was a trip to City Hall, right? So I go to City Hall because when I had my name change done last year, for whatever reason, they never told me that I needed to get a new title for my home to reflect the change. So last year, my tax bill came under my old name, and I paid it, did my income tax return, no issues, but there's for me there's always a 50-50 chance that the state is going to require proof, as they put it, that I paid, or that my tax bill was what I say it is. So last year they didn't ask for it. Year before, I don't think they did, but the year before that, they did ask for it. And for me, it's always a toss up. Okay, will they? Won't they? I got lucky last year and the year before, but this year I don't think I'm going to get so lucky. So what I'm seeing is going to happen here is if I don't get it changed, I'm going to try to file my taxes, and they'll say, okay, we've accepted your state return. However, we need proof that you paid this tax bill. Well, I'm going to take a picture of it or whatever, and take a picture of the bill, of the receipt, whatever, and it's going to show, my dead name. And I don't want that because that's going to trigger some kind of a red flag response, like, okay, that's not Mila. So that's gonna be a lot of extra, red flags and phone calls and extra paperwork and oh dear God. So yeah, I went out to City Hall to say, okay, I need to make this change. What do I need to do? Treasurer, what's the first one I talked to? She didn't know right away, so she had to ask her colleague, and she came back a few minutes later, said that I've actually got to go to the courthouse, which fortunately in this city is literally like 4 blocks away. So everything's right there. So I had to go to the Register of Deeds or at the courthouse, talk to them. And when I go there and start talking to them, at first they're like, oh yeah, you need to talk to the treasurer. No, I just came from the treasurer. She referred me to this office. So yeah, then they dig a little deeper, and they're like, "Oh yes, what you need to do is need to go to need to get a new title made up. You gotta go through all those steps, and then after you got that, you gotta file whatever else with it, and then come back to us with receipts that this was done, and then we'll lock the change." It's like, okay, that's great. I ask, you know, how long do you think this would usually take? Could I get it done before the December deadline? And like, no, I'm pretty sure there was a deadline for these kinds of things back in like June or something like that, like really fucking early in the year. It's like, oh, well, that sucks. But the woman I talked to told me that she had property in her original name, and even though she has a married name, that's different. She said she had never had any issues. So maybe it'll be the same for me. I don't know, but she basically told me if her experience is anything to work with, don't worry about it. So we'll see. At any rate, it's too late in the year for me to do anything about it now. So I'm just SOL if anything happens. Probably have to place a lot of phone calls with state tax service or at the state tax agency and find out what happens. Anyway, so I leave the courthouse and I've got to go to the pharmacy and pick up my refills of HRT. So gonna find out that yeah, I got 2 of them that were ready. The third one I think will be ready in 2 days from now. So yeah, I'll wait till next week for that one. But anyway, I get that picked up. So now I got another 3 month supply of estradiol and spironolactone. So yeah, I got my titty skittles and my testosterone suppression. Got that all taken care of. So yay for that. But following that, I had one more thing I had to do, and that was that return I was talking about with Amazon. So I go, I remember that the UPS store was right off the main drag, the main road. Wish I could tell you the name of the road, but that would give away my location. So yeah, we're not going to do that. But anyway, you could see the UPS store signage from the main road, but I drive by and I can't see it. It's like, okay, so I pulled into the lot where I was, so just be certain, I plugged into the GPS. I said, okay, the UPS store, and it gave me this address that matched where I thought it was. But I look and there's nothing there. And so I start driving around, just aimlessly looking, trying to figure out, okay, did I just miss it by a block or something, or what? No, wind up driving off, and not before I know it, I'm a few miles away by the mall, and then I come back to the original location, and I just think, okay, something's off here, because I was checking Google Maps, I checked the UPS store website, and they all said the location like right where I was at. It's like, okay, what the fuck? This thing is right here, but it's not here. How is everything wrong? Well, I find in one of the windows there's a sign that says, "Oh, we moved. Our new location is," it says, "a block away." Okay, well, a block away in this case is now jammed between an alignment center and a plumber. And this little rinky-dink building that has a sign that's about, maybe the size of maybe the size of these pop cans. Just if you are not looking for it, you are not going to find it. So anyway, I pull in there. That parking lot is fucking tiny. They really, really screwed the pooch by choosing that location for for a major like shipping hub. It's like, okay, this is the UPS store. Packages come and go from here all the time. People are going to be in and out just continuously. Why did you choose this horrific location as as your base of operations? It makes no sense to me. But anyway, I bring the book inside with me, and just got sent off. Thankfully, that part was no problem, no hassle. But dear God, what a fucking nightmare. You know. So yeah, the replacement book is supposed to arrive on Tuesday. So we'll see what kind of condition that arrives in. But yeah, it was. It was. There's absolutely no way that anybody with half a brain should have thought that was acceptable for a new manga, to be shipped in that condition. I mean, it barely would have qualified as used acceptable. But so anyway, after that, I'm just like, I'm gonna go home, but first I gotta stop by, a store and pick up some mouthwash, and milk, and see what other essentials I needed. Wanted to go to Walmart for about half an hour or so. Picked up a bunch of candy, picked up bread, milk, mouthwash, chapstick. I gotta show you this. I really gotta show you this. So. I got ice cream flavors. We have ice cream flavors. We have cookies and cream, mint chocolate chip, and fudge sundae. Tasty, tasty, tasty. So. Oh, God. So, anyway, I just got back from all that, and just I don't know. I get back from my shopping trips, and I'm worked up. I'm out of breath, and it doesn't matter if it's 20 degrees outside, 20 below, 30 degrees, 40, 50, 60 degrees outside. It doesn't matter the temperature. I always work up a sweat whenever I'm hauling shit back in from my car and putting shit away. It doesn't matter what I'm wearing, what temperature is. It just always works out that way. So that's why I'm chugging Mountain Dew on camera. So, oh yeah. Speaking of chugging, it's the holiday season officially. I got my sparkling cider from Welch's for New Year's. I know it's plenty early for that, but it became a tradition for me that I buy a couple of those. So the sparkling grape juice and whatever. It's just a little treat that I get for myself. It used to be eggnog, but that shit is so high calories, so expensive anyway that I stopped buying it because, well, neither my waistline nor my wallet could take it anymore. And it's been that way for years, though. I used to at least indulge like one quart or 1/2 gallon, depending on which type I was getting. They used to have, what was it, Holly Nog, I think they called it, from Land O'Lakes. And it was it wasn't as rich or as concentrated as regular eggnog. So you could drink it without diluting it so much, with other things. It's actually one of those things that funny, I don't have a lot of positive memories from my childhood, but one that I do have has to do with eggnog or polynog actually. And one of the things that we would do with that stuff is we would just drink it as part of a Christmas season dinners, and it would always be half glass of milk, half glass of polynog, and honestly, it would dilute perfectly for my taste back then. I can't see if it would be the same nowadays, but probably not. I'm not as tolerant of rich and thick drinks anymore. I guess I grew up in that regard. It's not as heavy. Yeah, heavy is the term I was looking for. I am rambling, and I am so sorry about that. But I guess I just wanted an excuse to get in front of the camera with this with this newest addition to my attire. Honestly, I really don't get to wear any kind of dresses or more feminine style clothing out all that often because, well, mostly I'm always going to work when I go out, leave the house. On my days off, I'm always at home. I'm just like, why am I going to get dressed up just to sit around at home? So I just don't wear these kinds of things. And the other thing is I am quite often self-conscious anyway, because even though I've been on HRT for 3.5 years, and I had you know pretty soft features to begin with, so I still have issues with my self-confidence as far as how well I pass. As it's one of those things with being trans is that you're gonna have these thoughts nagging at the back of your mind, pretty much continuously for a number of years, and I'm still not really past that. I still have a lot of times where I'm second guessing myself, or I just don't feel like I'm really pulling off the look all that well, especially when my voice fails as badly as it tends to. So I don't really get to wear the outfits that I would like to, but I figured, you know what, I have this thing sitting out since I got it. I might as well just go ahead and wear it here. So, anyway, here it is. Unfortunately, the length is a little too short. So, ergo, leggings are a must. Otherwise, I'm flashing my frontal area way too readily. So, anyway, there's that. With that said, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go downstairs and don't know if I'm going to take a nap, play a game, or torment the cat. Guess we'll find out. Anyway, I am now 43 years old, and I am going to bid you all a good weekend. So, for those of you that are here in the States, that are dismayed by the events earlier this week, stay strong and know that there are a fuck ton of people that are going to be fighting to preserve and protect you, protect your freedoms and your rights. I hope to be among them. If I can find a way to contribute, I will. together, with a coordinated combined effort, we will persevere through these 4 years of shit. Remember, it's 1,460 days from now is the next election. So the clock's ticking, assuming that we still have elections in 4 years. But for now, just remember the clock is ticking to the end of that dictator wannabe's final term. So keep the faith. You got more allies than you think. So, and I will see you again later.